Hello! Okay, today I'm not gonna review a DVD, but I guess in a way I am reviewing a DVD, because the DVD, I believe, comes out tomorrow, or in a couple of days anyway. The film I'm gonna review is The Strangers, which was out in theaters over this past summer, maybe a bit before summer started. But, basically the plot is just this, these two people, this guy and his was going to be fiance, go to a cottage in somewhere in the country. And we find out what happened was that she left him at the altar, but they had still made plans for after the wedding, so they went, and that was to go to this cottage, which this guy had, like, made up, assuming that they would have been married, but they weren't, so there was all this nice stuff, and she felt really bad about that. So this girl comes to the door, in shadow, and she asks if there is a person there. I forget what the person's name was, but they say no, because they're obviously not there, it's just the two of them. She asks again, they say she's not there, so she just walks off and leaves, and they're thinking that's very strange. So, then what happens is the guy, I haven't seen the movie in a while, so a lot of this stuff I'm just having trouble recounting. He leaves, or no, he has some difficulty. Okay, that's not what happens. They are being stalked. This is how this sort of movie goes. They're being stalked. Oh god. I'm not even kidding, this movie gets really creepy, and just remembering these scenes is sort of starting to freak me out a bit, because I'm the only one in the house right now. If you see someone walk in the background, then just let me know. Or something. So, yeah. But, it was a very creepy movie. And that's really all you need to know, but they're being stalked by these three killers who all wear masks. This movie was so friggin' creepy, even the trailer creeped me out. I don't get scared easily, but I'm not even kidding. It's very retro, it's done very well. The posters, from looking at some of them, you can tell that they're meant to be done in a retro fashion. They look sort of like old Grindhouse movie trailer posters, or movie posters. But I enjoyed it. From what I've heard, there's a lot of controversy going around about this film, and I don't really blame people for that, because, you know, it is sort of, it's not the best, it's not the most well done film, but it definitely was scary. It had some very frightening moments. Just like there's images from this film that you don't forget, like the one in the trailer where the girl's in the foreground and without any music in the shadow. Oh god. The guy comes like walking in and just stands there. And when you see the actual movie, it's even creepier, because that scene goes on even longer than it did. Which was, that was just really creepy to me. But the best part about this movie is when you really did have to see this in the theater when it first came out, because the audience bonds together as one. That's how it is with most horror movies when you go to see it. But this one, more than anything, when that scene came up with the guy walks in the background, a like complete hum, like a whistle, comes up from the whole audience, like, ah, and then everyone sort of starts talking, creeping out. I loved that part about it. That's what I love about seeing a horror movie with a group of people like that. Like everyone just sort of bonds together. Everyone's like afraid, and I saw this with Lewis, and he did scream several times, and me and Robin were there. We eventually had to cup our hands over his mouth. Don't tell him I said that. But, yes. Final verdict, in my opinion, despite the fact that there is a lot of controversy going around about this film, I enjoyed it. Don't shoot me for this. But, from what I've seen and what I've heard, it has been shot like a retro horror movie. It's going back sort of like, you know, the basics of horror, like, you know, like the just sort of setting. You know, the sort of setting, just like, you know, the creepy abandoned house and being in the middle of the country. Complete isolation, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Except this takes place at night. Actually, part of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre took place at night, but whatever. I enjoyed this film. It's definitely not on par with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but in my opinion, it's definitely one of the better modern-day horror movies coming out, with the exception of, you know, like the shot-on-video home movies that are actually really well done. An example being Year of the Dead. That's just one. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to buy it when it first comes out, though, because it's going to cost, like, a lot I'm gonna probably wait till the 2-disc edition comes out, because I enjoyed it, and I'd like to learn more about it with the special features that chances are would come on the 2-disc special edition. Yes. Movie, Strangers. Check it out if you like that sort of thing. If you don't like modern horror movies and you stay away from them completely, I wouldn't check it out. I don't really like modern horror movies either, but I figured I may as well just go see this, because it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was very creepy. It's like, you can't really scare audiences anymore by just, like, having something there. Like, it can't just be like, you can't just have, like, a scary image on the screen for a prolonged period of time. You can't scare people with images. You can scare them with startling sounds and stuff, but this movie, I think, did a very good job at scaring people with imagery. It's definitely... I definitely feel that this is a more sort of new wave of horror. I believe this was done by a younger director, which, like, because, all the... I'm not just saying this because I'm a young filmmaker. I'm saying it seems like all of the younger filmmakers who are going into Hollywood have the most fresh and good ideas, and I believe that The Strangers was one of them. But, yeah, one way or another, I really enjoyed this film, and I suggest you check it out. But don't get angry at me if you don't like it, because, hey, this sort of thing isn't for everyone. Okay, well, I've got to go board up my doors and windows, because I am, like, I believe my house is being stalked.